Well, first I wanted to show you how I discovered this process, or what inspired me to search for this process. I believe it's in the late 70s I got my first jump pipe pellet. After a few painting sessions, I found the natural texture of rocks and mountains escapes on the pellet. Now, I wanted to show you how these things happen. Now, you see that when the pellet is new, when you brush the paint over, the paint repel paint. See that the surface repel paint, see that? Okay, those things will create different type of texture. And that lead me to think, if I can find a painting ground that is as smooth as plastic, and that will probably do the same thing for you. So I first searched for the local supply stores, and I found the illustration board. I think that is hard and smooth. So I tried this out. I wanted now to show you how the coated. Now this surface will react, but not as much as if I enhance that with acrylic gel medium. Acrylic glossy gel medium will make the surface even smoother, and therefore it will repel paint. Okay, what I wanted to show you is that the difference between the area that I coated and the area I did not put any gel medium on that. Now, gel medium comes in different forms now. There will be paste form like this, and then there will be sort of more liquid type, sometimes even like varnish type. Liquid test, Golden, all these companies produce this, but the key is that use the glossy one. If you use the matte one, matte by definition, is absorb instead of repel. Okay, so glossy gel medium. Normally, you don't have to use full strength like this. You can dilute it, but if you wanted to try it out first, then you could simply just use full strength like this in a paste format. Now, you are not building up impasto, relief to get texture. To make this as smooth as possible. So I am brushing this. Now, you probably don't want to use a good brush for this. I have a bristle brush here. It's relatively inexpensive. Okay, you don't want to use your sable or squirrel hair for this purpose. Now, of course, you wanted to wash this out. Otherwise, it would dry up and become. Then you had to use solvent to clean it out. But I will just dip it in water. Okay. Now the fact that I use a relatively coarse bristle brush, then there will be hairlines in here. If you got that hairlines, then you may affect your painting, and sometimes could be very undesirable. So what I do is that before this dry up, I use a flat sponge like this, all right, to press that. Now remember, don't rub it, all right? If you rub it, then you would rub off the gel medium. Just stamp like this to get rid of the hairline. Now, it's not that you are going to increase the texture. It's simply just that to make this hair, to press out those hairlines. Now, you're not going to apply color right away. You have to wait until this is dry. Now, why? Because if you apply color right away, the color, regular watercolor, will bond with acrylic gel medium. So now I'm going to dry this. All right, basically just touching dry. It will not stick to your hand. Now, in case you do not have a chance to start painting right away, you probably wonder, is that okay? It's all right. Even a year later, a few months later, or even 10 years later, I don't think it matters. It will still, this area will still be coated and will still react. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit darker color. If I used a very light color, you probably wouldn't see the texture as much as the darker value. So I simply just brush over quickly. You can see the reaction. See that? You can see the area with the gel medium react and give you a lot more texture than the area that do not have. So now I'm coming all the way down here. Can you tell the difference here? In here, that's hairline, because what? I did not press the line out. And here, you don't see that. You don't see the very monotonous straight hairlines. And that's the idea why I did it that way. And you can see the difference. Now, the key to it is that once you apply the color and leave it alone, if you keep on brushing, let's say you can keep on brushing, then what? Then you will lose the texture, all right? So the key to it is to gently sweep it over quickly, all right? Now, the pigment cannot be too thin or too thick. If it's too thick, then the surface will not react, all right? If it's too thin, then it's too watery. Then you have later on have to go back again. In other words, it's just a way of trying to capture the texture effortlessly. That's the key here, again, effortlessly. You don't have to painstakingly paint the texture, all right? So you know that the cardboard and apply with gel medium, sweep the paint over very quickly, then the surface will create texture for you, create tension, and create interesting texture for you.